motorcycle is whatever you want to make it. Turn it on, you can give yourself a real thrill.
That's the commies at work right there.
Oh yeah. Shit, does that throw us right into the snow right there?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. So
that's not a good start.
But on the plus side, we are decreasing elevation. So
but we might have to come back through that.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys ready for another bushwhacking adventure?
I need to bring my pajamas.
We're up here at 7,869 feet of the Sunset Lookout. We're going to drop down off of this ridge, and really the biggest obstacle is going to be a few snow drifts that we have to go through. Today was a 63-mile loop, which was just perfect. Actually, Jay ran out of gasoline on his 2020 KTM 300, but he had ridden a little bit before I arrived, so I think he made it past 70 miles on his bike. I think he made it like 73 miles or something like that, which you really can't complain about for a tank full of fuel. But between the three bikes, we made it back to the truck. We siphoned a little bit out of my bike and Kurt's and made it home. The soil was perfect. You just can't ask for better soil. The rock here is a lot of embedded granite, so you have so much more control than Cambridge, where I had been riding prior to this a few times. And Cambridge will just steal your confidence. It has a way of really just doing that because it's so harsh. You really have to be actively riding the bike, and if your body positioning is not 100% aggressive all the time, that loose rock in Cambridge will throw you off the trail. So it's got you all over the place. And here in Idaho City, there's really no areas like that. You pretty much feel 100% in control the entire way. Even in the rocky sections, the rock is just shaped differently, so you feel in control even though you're bouncing around a little bit. But you can tell a lot of this is embedded stuff, so you can really preload your suspension and control how you launch off of it. Definitely tell that the bike was getting better as I dropped in elevation, which is pretty funny. That's just how it goes with a two-stroke though. So it was running a little bit rich, and that's to be expected when you're right around 8,000 feet. Down at the base of this, we're right around 3,000 feet, I'm guesstimating, but I think it's around 3,000. Pretty big difference in elevation there though. We did run across a couple spots with deadfall. This trail isn't completely good to go quite yet. We were really running short on time. I think this is about 6:45 p.m. and so our resources were running low, and the main one was time, but the other was gasoline, I think. But I've been stuck out there for a long time before on my bike, where I just kept going and going, switched to reserve. I made it past 80 miles with my bike, but a lot of that was road as well, so when you're riding dirt roads, that really doesn't give you an accurate gauge of, for how your distance will be on a single tank of fuel. But I would feel pretty confident going 80 miles. That day I went 86 and I still had plenty of fuel left over. So just on a single track day like today, like I said, we went 63 miles on this loop. Most of that was this high mountain single track, and my bike did that fairly easily. It had plenty of fuel left over. This is one of those single tracks that really gives you a great view. All the way down you can just see from a high elevation just the mountaintops and the snow-covered mountains off in the distance. Some of this stuff is burned in here, and when you do run across a burned section, it really is dangerous as far as the deadfall. I really don't worry about any trees, falling while I'm on the trail. The likelihood of that happening is pretty low, but there is just a lot of deadfall across the trail when you get into the burnt sections. Some pretty tight switchbacks as well, which really caught me off guard a few times. This trail had a lot to offer. There's a lot of diversity in terrain, a lot of steep climbs and good descents, a lot of switchbacks, just everything you could ask for in a single track. It's got a great view, and like I said, the soil was just perfect. Saw wildflowers throughout the entire ride. We saw the blue bachelor's buttons and bluebells and the red scarlet skyrockets and the yellow black-eyed Susans. And no, I'm not smart enough to know all those wildflowers. I just looked that up to give you some relevant information.
Fun, no.
It was fun,
That was fun.
but it's a little bit worrying. Hopefully we don't have to go back up all the way up that.
That would suck.
I think between the three of us, we won't have to do that.
No, because we can get our bikes over anything
Yeah.
that we need to.
Builds character. Gotta do stoppies.
There was a couple times when we accidentally went off trail, which is going to happen from time to time. Especially when a new year comes around and there are certain parts of a trail that just aren't quite visible yet. There's a lot of overgrowth as well, and there's no better way to clear that stuff than to whack it with your handguards, so that's exactly what we were doing. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the ride. I'll just let you enjoy the rest of the video without me yapping, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Oh man, yeah, this is a good trail. Especially when there's no deadfall blocking the way.
Yeah.
Pretty diverse too. You get sections like this all covered in trees and everything.
Yep.
Pretty good stuff. It's nice. We've only got a small section before the road now.
Yeah, we're there.
We're pretty much there. Let's do this thing. Do it!